Hey, it's Mercedes. Happy today. If this is your first time joining me, I'm Mercedes. And yes, you are manifesting with Mercedes. I help people I help people get more of what they want. I help people get more of what they desire. So if you like to see more or hear more information about how I might help you, go to manifestmoreresults.com. I'm glad to be here with you today. Wherever in the world you are manifesting from, go ahead and drop it in the comments, whether it is live or on the replay. Let me know what city, what state, what country, what continent are you manifesting from this day. So today we're going to chat quickly about you doing your stuff and you understanding how the more you add on more stuff, you're diluting your power. You are minimizing your energy and you're sacrificing what you possibly could be manifesting more of. And I'm going to explain to you how, yes, you can have different revenue streams within one business or within one household. Yes, you can have multiple streams of income. But when I was doing morning walk afterthought, and be sure you watch morning walk afterthought today, and you watch morning walk afterthought every day that I do it. And be clear, like what I started doing was some mornings I'll walk, some mornings I go work with my sports scientist or an athletic trainer. And I decided even on those mornings, I'm still going to do a morning walk afterthought. So whether I've been with the sports scientist or whether I've been outside of my home or at the lake walking, watch the morning walk afterthoughts, as it is more knowledge, more insight, more inspiration to help you get greater clarity on your vibration, your energy, manifesting whatsoever it is you desire for your life. So I briefly touched on it this morning in the morning walk afterthought. And so I'm going to expand upon it just a bit more now. So go ahead and allow this broadcast to show up on your page. Make sure you follow the page so that when I go live, you can get the notifications so you can join me live. If you know of someone who is consistent with saying they want to use their power to manifest and create whatsoever it is they desire, go ahead and tag them or share this in their inbox or share it to a group that you manage or belong to. I'm going to share it in my group, Mindset Management and Manifesting with Mercedes, as well. Have you become a member of Mindset Management and Manifesting with Mercedes yet? If you have, make sure you're doing the affirmations, the declarations, and the empower plays. If you have not joined today, and if you already are, invite somebody, add somebody else so that we can have collective manifesting energy, which is even more powerful. Where two or three are gathered together, right? One can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight, right? So many instances, many examples of how when we come together, our power is expanded and elevated exponentially. So add people to the group and go ahead and invite people to come and share with us and conversate with us on this quick conversation on today. So oftentimes we do what is popular, right? We do what is trending. We do what is the next thing or what is the now thing. When the next thing and the now thing has moved on to another thing, then many people jump on that next and that now. Regardless of if you do what's trending or not, regardless of if you do what's popular or not, if it is not in alignment with what you have to offer to the world, if it is not in alignment with your heart, your mind, and your spirit, if it is not in alignment with whatever it is you have cast as your vision, then your energy, your power, your ability to create is still there. It's just diluted. And one thing I know with great certainty is I'm being extremely careful with how I'm saying what I'm saying, because what I want to do is encourage you to use your skills, gifts, talents, and abilities to create more love and peace and joy and to get you some more money. But I do know that people become discouraged when they see somebody else doing something and they do it and it doesn't work for them. Or they see somebody has become successful for a fraction of time and they start telling or sharing with people how to do what they have done, and it doesn't work, or they don't understand, or the delivery is not clear, and so they're not able to obtain, acquire, or achieve what was promised. So my thought for you and my offering for you, as someone who I know has manifesting power, as someone who I know has the ability to accomplish and achieve whatsoever it is you desire to accomplish and achieve professionally, do what you do. Focus on your gifts and talents. Focus on your skills and ability. Use that which you have a modicum of experience or expertise at to focus and concentrate your energy and your power, and or to expand. Like what we see now going on in society, what we see now going on in social media is everybody is positioning themselves as an expert, right? And so allow me to use absolutes, right? When I say everybody, I don't literally mean everybody, okay? When I say you, y'all, I don't literally mean you, y'all. I'm speaking in general. So many people try something and they get a level of experience and success from trying that thing, and then they turn themselves into the expert. They position themselves as the person who you should learn from, who you should be mentored by, who you should follow, who you should show up and see what they're doing. And by and large, people are using these vehicles by which to convey information as a means to expand their revenue streams, as a way to multiply what's coming in. So we're often taught and we're often told, and write that down because that's two different things as well, being taught and being told. We're often taught and we're often told that we should have multiple streams of income. And so we confuse having multiple streams of income with starting multiple businesses. We confuse having multiple streams of income with expanding revenue streams teaching about, talking about, offering something, and we're talking about content that we honestly don't have the knowledge, the information, or the experience to be able to share. So you can become a teacher, a speaker, and a trainer, but do it based on what you're comfortable speaking about and based on what you know. You have the knowledge, the experience, and the expertise to teach about. Mentor and coach people, but mentor and coach on your area of expertise, on where you have been able to produce and see outcomes. So I said this in the morning walk afterthought video. I do own some real estate. I do have properties, right? I can tell you how I acquired them. I can share with you what I did to secure them. I can even tell you when I was when resource development, when nonprofit consulting was my bread and butter. I can tell you what we did for commercial properties, what we did to build assisted living facilities, to build retirement homes, to build all the things that we built. Some was acquisition, some was the ground up. I can tell you what we did. I can tell you, but that doesn't mean I can teach you. Are y'all with me? I can, like, I'm one of those speakers, trainers who can take some knowledge, take some information. I think that's part gifting and part training. But I can take some knowledge and some information, and you would believe that I have been doing it for the past 2 decades. You would believe I am an expert. But be clear, I won't do it and I wouldn't do it. Just because I know how to acquire property and funding to build new construction or rehab projects doesn't mean I'm going to create a course and sell it to you. That's not my area of expertise. I can acquire knowledge and information, talk to the experts, hire somebody to tell me, show me, and create success in my physical body, both with nutrition and the physicality. And then I can reach a modicum of success and I can package it and sell it to you. But I'm not going to do that. I can tell you how to make some money. I can tell you how to manifest some money. That I will package and sell. That I do teach and speak and train and mentor about. But if you ask me how you should invest it, I'm not going down that road with you. If you ask me what savings vehicles you should use, if you ask me anything as it relates to financial literacy, I can share with you what has been shared with me. But what I dare not do is position myself as the expert. I'm going to connect you with some people who that's what they do. I am going to connect you with some people who you need to be paying them to tell you how to do this. I'm not going to receive any consulting fee, any training fee, any speaking fee about that, because although I have experience, I don't have expertise. Although I have knowledge, I can tell you about it, but I can't teach you about it. I can tell you, I can talk about it, but I wouldn't taint my own reputation as a keynote speaker by speaking about it. Are y'all with me? So whatsoever is your area of expertise, whatsoever is your area of great experience, put your energy and put your focus in that. Whatsoever you have overcome, and you have both the knowledge and the information and the results to go along with what it is you desire to share information about. I hate to tell you to stay in your lane, but I got to tell you to stay in your lane, because many times what happens is we do want to see success in different areas. We do want to see money flow to us easily and effortlessly from many different areas. But when you are at a place and when you are in a space where you have not cultivated the land, in the place and space where you actually do have expertise, or you do have experience, or you do have education, and then you go and put your focus, put your energy into another area, it dilutes the energy that you're putting out in the area where you can have a tremendous impact. And so often what we do is we work to do multiple different things at one time. And you can. I'm not saying that you cannot. What I am offering to you is to be mindful that when you put your energy and focus in multiple different ways, if you have not fortified that power, if you have not strengthened that power, if you have not given the time and the attention to the power that you have already been putting it out, then when you divide it to give part over here and part over there, then it causes your ability to manifest and to create to be watered down. However, so if we use for example, if you're in the medical field, genius. So I, part of my volunteer work is, part of my give back to society is I am a small business mentor through the Small Business Center, through the college here in the city where I live. And there's a lady who came in for a business pitch competition, and she is a physician's assistant. And as a physician's assistant, what she did was she has created another stream of income where she does IV, I can't think of the name of it, but she does something where they put vitamins and nutrients and whatsoever it is your specific body needs or whatever you're working to achieve. And she does that as an additional stream of income to her practice. That is energy that's flowing in the same area. As she's building or continuing to build her nursing practice and medical practice, whatever you call it, forgive me, I don't know the exact name, but as she's working to build that specific practice, she's adding streams of income that are in alignment with what she currently does. So if she decides next week that she's going to jump out and do real estate, she's going to jump out and teach real estate, she's going to jump out and invest in real estate, she can do that. However, if she's putting her money towards it and still doing the medical practice, that's one thing. But if she's doing the medical practice and building the real estate business, then her energy and her focus is divided. Now, if she got a whole entire complete staff to do the medical practice and a whole entire complete staff to do the real estate, that's different. because you have people who are designated to put their focus and their energy on that stream of income. But if she, as a solopreneur, is having to put time and energy and money towards one and time and energy and money towards the other, then the energy and the focus is split. So oftentimes what happens is what people do when they're in the state of needing or wanting more money, they create something new or create something additional. When most likely what would possibly serve you is you take what you have, use your gifts, talents, skills, and abilities, and you build a specific thing. You put your focus and your energy on the specific thing that will cause you to reap a harvest quicker. Then when you get that specific thing to a certain place, then you add in new. Now be clear again, I'm telling you, you can do whatsoever it is you desire to do. You can build multiple businesses all at one time. But what you have to know and realize is, unless you have help and support, physically, mentally, financially, and emotionally, then you're going to be pulled in different directions, which is going to dilute your ability to produce, and to produce as fast and as powerfully and as successfully as if all that energy and power was going to one area. We live in a space and a place where people think just because you can get a microphone, you can speak. Just because you can rent a church, I just gotta say it. Just because you can rent a church, you can preach and or pastor. Just because you can have some flyers made up that look really pretty, that you can coach and that you can mentor. And while we need all of that, make sure that if you are doing any of that, that the information that you are conveying, that is fortified with experience, that is fortified with knowledge and information, that is fortified with the specific results that you are saying that you can produce. And be clear, I love y'all immensely, but you have people who have meteoric rises. Like they rise like a meteorite. They can position it and make it look as successful as they need to make it look in order for it to be successful. And that's good. Like if you like it, I love it, right? But what I want you to be sure of is that what you're sowing when you do that you're actually going to reap what you desire. What I want you to be sure of when you do that is that it's actually going to produce the results. If you want a one-time shot and get out, be clear about it. If you want a long-term, sustained revenue generating stint, be clear that you give the time, you give the energy, you give the focus that's necessary for you to reap the results you desire, and for the people who you're selling to and the people who you're giving to reap, if they do what you say, to reap and achieve and accomplish what you say they can reap and achieve and accomplish. I had a girl call me, I don't know, about a month or so ago, and she was asking me for something specific and support for a specific thing or person or people. So the she said what she had to say in like 2 minutes or less. And then as we're about to get off the phone, she should have just got on off the phone, right? As we're about to part ways and get off the phone, she asked me, how are things going for you? And I said, things are going very well for me. And she said, well, what are you doing now? Because you do so much. And I just held the telephone. I really don't do that much. Everything that I do is in the realm of speaking or consulting or generating money. Like all of that. One thing in many ways. So she made the comment, I'm not gonna get on you about doing so much, and I'm not gonna joke you about being a Jamaican and having 20 different jobs. I just held a telephone. Because be clear, I haven't had a job probably since the 90s. I have not had a job since the 90s. So she's making comments about something that she doesn't know about. And then she proceeded to continue down that path. And I said, well, let me be clear that I get that you and other people may not understand the path of an entrepreneur, but everything I do is related to speaking or consulting and helping individuals and entities get more money. That process has many roads that you might travel. But for me and my work for the past 20 years, I haven't had a job, and I have always focused on speaking and consulting and helping people get money, whether that's nonprofits, for-profits, or individuals. And I left it at that. When you know the core of what you're to do, yes, you can create multiple streams of income inside of the entity or outside of the entity. If you operate as a solopreneur and you operate under your social security number, if you're a nonprofit organization or a church, and the programs and the projects that you create allow money to flow in, just know that whatsoever it is that you do, be clear that you're operating in alignment with your mission and your vision. Be clear that you're operating inside of your passion and your purpose. Be clear that whatsoever it is you do, if you're talking about it, if you're teaching about it, do what you do versus what's trending and what's popular. Because if you're gonna jump and do what's trending and popular every time something new trends or becomes popular, then you're diluting your power. Whether you are an entity or whether you are an individual, become crystal clear in your mind and in the work that you do, that whatsoever you bring into the fold, that unless you are to a place and a space where you have either one, gotten it down to a science, so you literally don't have to put a lot of focus and energy on it anymore, and you can allow it to just continue to grow and flow with what you've already foundationally built and are allowing to expand. And or if you have created it and you have people who support it, people who drive it, people who are giving it the energy and focus that it needs to be sustained or that it needs to be elevated. That anytime you entertain something outside of that, not saying that you can't or that you shouldn't, I'm just telling you to be aware that the power and the energy that you have is diluted And if you put more power and energy and focus on the one thing and get it to a certain place, then when it's time for you to add in more or do something totally different, you have the resources, you have the strength, you have the support to do exactly that. I encourage you today to do what you do. And remember that experience doesn't mean expertise. When you're sharing, be comfortable and confident in what you're sharing. Remember that telling doesn't mean teaching. And so if you're hearing from someone or you're listening to someone, you're learning from someone, understand the difference. It's okay to hear from and learn from someone who's telling versus teaching, but you know that you make sure you know the difference so that you don't find yourself in a place, in a space of frustration. Remember that talking does not mean speaking. And I'm a snob right here because professional speaking is an art form, right? Speaking is a skill set. And just because you can get a microphone and talk does not mean you're going to have the impact that somebody who is a speaker has, who has honed their craft, understood the exchange between audience and speaker, and undergirded themselves with both knowledge and information and practice. Wherever you position yourself, make sure you hone that craft. If you're going to be a coach, learn how to coach. If you're going to be a mentor, learn how to mentor. And I'm talking about you charging people, right? People are paying you to do this. If you're going to be a trainer, learn the art of training. If you're going to, whatsoever it is you desire, can you make it? Can you profit? Can you expand your reach? Without it, you absolutely can. But hone your gifts and talents, hone your skills and abilities, whatever platform it is that you're going to use. Make sure you do it at the highest possible level. Do it at the highest possible level and understand clearly that when you do it, if you're doing what's popular and you're doing what's trending, you're diluting your power. Use your power, focusing on where you're experienced, where you have knowledge, and where you can have the greatest and the broadest impact. Elsewise, you continue to produce mundane results that don't feed your family and don't prosper your soul. So make a conscious decision as you walk into the new to understand and embrace and act on that. All right, you all. I love you immensely. Those of you who have become a subscriber recently, thank you so much. And those of you who have yet to become a subscriber, I'm asking you to do that today. If you'd like to know more about how I help people manifest more results, personal, professional, spiritual, physical, or financial, go to manifestmoreresults.com. See you soon.